Incoming House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer joins me now. Congressman, a lot to break down there. What else is on the top of your priority list?
Well, we're certainly concerned about inflation. The reason we have inflation in America is because the Democrats in Washington have spent too much money. The one thing that we can do in a divided Congress is put the brakes on runaway spending. What I want to do as the next chairman of the House Oversight Committee is identify waste, fraud, abuse, mismanagement, and corruption within the federal government and actually hold people accountable and try to do something about it to reduce spending, to try to get inflation in check.
Are you confident that Republicans can undo what Democrats have put in place over the last 2 years?
We're certainly going to try. You know, we're disappointed over the Senate response to the omnibus bill. We think that the Senate could have stuck with the House, passed a continuing resolution for a few weeks and let Republicans take the pencil and start cutting unnecessary spending. Because, again, if we're going to be serious about reducing inflation, if we're going to be serious about ever getting to a balanced budget scenario, then we're going to have to make steep cuts. We can do these cuts with while at the same time protecting Social Security and Medicare. There's that much waste in unnecessary spending in Washington. So this is going to be a priority of the House Republicans. We're ready to get started tomorrow. We're excited, and we believe we have a mandate from the people to actually make change and try to get government more responsive to the taxpayers.
While in the minority, Congressman, you have been on this very program at least once a week talking about the investigations that you are going to run when in the majority. That majority takes place tomorrow. So how soon before you begin the Hunter, the Twitter, and other investigations?
We've been working on it for over a year, as you know. We'll start tomorrow with hopefully bringing people in to start taking interviews. We're going to do transcribed interviews. We're going to start getting our subpoenas ready. We're going to request more information. As you saw last week, the White House made an announcement at 4:30 a.m. one morning that they were going to disregard every request that Jim Jordan and I had made over the past 2 years with respect to how taxpayer dollars have been spent. And they told us that those requests didn't mean anything because we were in the minority. Well, tomorrow we're going to be in the majority, and we're simply going to resend every one of those requests. We expect the White House to work with us to do our job. The Oversight Committee is supposed to get the backs of the taxpayers. We're supposed to ensure that taxpayer dollars aren't wasted. We know for a fact that hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars have been wasted over the past 2 years, yet the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee haven't had a single hearing with respect to wasted tax dollars. So that's going to change tomorrow. We're going to work on getting people in to take depositions, to do the transcribed interviews. We're getting our hearings ready. So our investigations start tomorrow.
Nothing else can happen until you have a Speaker of the House. Who is Speaker 48 hours from now?
Well, I certainly hope it's Kevin McCarthy. Right now, he has 97% of the Republicans. That is a mandate as far as I'm concerned. Kevin's worked hard. He's raised the money. That's the difficult part about trying to beat the Democrats. They have been spending so much more money than Republicans, and money, unfortunately, makes a difference. However, the Democrats have been raising money. They've been doing it to the tune of significantly outraising Republicans in just about every crucial House race over the past 2 years. If Kevin McCarthy hadn't been as involved in raising money as he had and working hard to recruit candidates, recruit the right candidates, we have, a record number of minority candidates. We have a record number of female candidates who are going to be sworn in to Congress as Republicans tomorrow. I think Kevin deserves the job. And it's unfortunate that he's being blamed for the sins of past speakers. Kevin is his own guy. I think he deserves a chance, and I'm certainly going to enthusiastically vote for him tomorrow.
Finally, Elon Musk just teased the release of new Fauci Files this week, tweeting, "Hope you're having a great day one 2023. One thing's for sure, it won't be boring." Are you expecting a smoking gun with regard to Anthony Fauci in the Fauci Files?
I'm expecting to see more involvement from the government in censoring speech, and this is very concerning. This is something that we've been talking about for the past several weeks on your show. The government should never play any role in censoring speech. We're concerned that the government has spent a significant amount of money of taxpayer dollars, creating a task force of at least 80 full-time employees to do nothing but censor social media posts and censor conservative speech. History will show that Dr. Fauci made a lot of mistakes. And history is also going to show, and I think Elon Musk is going to have a big role in that the government played a large role in trying to combat anyone who was a critic of Dr. Fauci, anyone who questioned Dr. Fauci's science, in ensuring that their voices weren't heard. We're paying the price every day for the mistakes that Dr. Fauci made during COVID. And I think what Elon Musk has the opportunity to do is show exactly how big a role the government played in getting Dr. Fauci's back on every controversial statement he made that affected our lives in a negative way over the past 3 years.
I'm sure when the time is right, you are excited to call Dr. Anthony Fauci to the halls of Congress to testify, but
Absolutely.
We'll have to hold that for a later segment. Congressman James Comer, thanks very much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.